Welcome to this presentation of OpenShift Anywhere with F5 Distributed Cloud, Module 1, Distributed Mesh to deliver services for Azure Red Hat OpenShift. So let's take a look at our architecture. We have 3 sites, one on Azure, or ARO, one on AWS, or ROSA, and a private on-premises cloud. Tying this all together will be our network services, which will create the tunnels between these 3 sites. So there are going to be 3 steps to this overall process. First, we'll create the Azure site. Second, we'll discover the cloud service, in this case Kubernetes. And third, we'll distribute that specific service. So a little bit about Azure Red Hat OpenShift. It's a fully managed service, so it's hands-off for all day 2 operations. It has a consumption-based pay-as-you-go offering, and it's jointly co-engineered and co-supported by both Azure and Red Hat. It's an easy way to get yourself familiar with a production-grade Kubernetes distribution. So let's take a look at the console. We'll see in an overview that we have 6 nodes. And when we go to a different view, the developer mode, we're going to take a look at the front end, which is where we're going to do most of the configuration. So first we're going to create the Azure site. And in this case, it's going to be a West Coast site because we're going to provide the services as close to the application as possible using our West Coast POP. We'll create a new subnet and apply the configuration. Then we're going to set up our configuration, apply it. We'll see that it's healthy. Everything is successful and configured properly. So we've set up the configuration. Now we're going to do the service discovery of this Kubernetes cluster in Azure. So we click on the Service Discovery tab on the left. We add the label. We drill down to the ARO reference and the network type. So this is internal site local network. And we'll authenticate to the Kubernetes. You'll see the green check mark, which means it's good. And we'll save and exit. So refresh it and we'll see that the services are up and available. So we're good there. And we'll see that the service name is front end. Now we're going to create an HTTP load balancer. So we select HTTP load balancer. And in this case, we're going to create just a simple HTTP on port 80. Obviously, in production situations, this may not be the case. You would probably go HTTPS. But for convenience sake, we're going to do a simple port 80. This application is the Hipster Store, which is a simple e-commerce site. Again, we enter the port. We'll apply the configuration, save. Make sure it's going out to the internet. But again, and then finally, we're going to access the Hipster Store. So we'll take a look at the URL and then drop the URL into a browser, and voila. Stay tuned for Module 2.